Hi there boys and girls, Brucey here, and today we have another viewer's question. This time the question comes from Haukur. He has asked how you control something like the Styrmon Timeline from the Boss MS3 over MIDI. What we are setting up now will be equally applicable to any other device that has MIDI input and MIDI control available to it. So first of all, we have to make sure we have a MIDI connection connecting the two of them together. We take the MIDI out from the Boss MS3 and connect it to the MIDI in on the device that we want to control. Now it should be noted that the Boss MS3 only has a MIDI out. The Boss MS3 can only control things over MIDI. It cannot be controlled via MIDI by another device. So we go into the MIDI in on the Styrmon Timeline, or whatever it is that you are hoping to control. So first of all, let's go over to the Strymon and see what we need to set up. So to access the global controls on the Styrmon Timeline, all we have to do is press and hold the value button in. That takes us to the globals, and we need to scroll through there until we hit MIDI channel. And make sure that that is set to MIDI channel 1. That is the MIDI channel. There are 16 of them that we are going to be transmitting on. Usually by default, all of these things should be on MIDI channel 1. Come back out of there. Oops, what did I do here? Buffer bypass. I want my bypass as it was. MIDI control, we want that to be on. All of these other MIDI parameters should be set to on. This is MIDI through, so what that means is we can send MIDI data through the whatever device this is, and it can connect to another device, and it will change patches on concurrent devices that we have connected. Okay, so that's our external timeline set up. Let's move over to the MS3. So this is where the fun really starts to happen. We need to go into our patch and select the MIDI channel and what patch that we want to select on the timeline. So first of all, we hit edit, and then we scroll over to the CTL or control menu. We enter there. Conveniently, this is already set up to the MIDI selection, but if it isn't, if you scroll across, you will come to the patch MIDI 1. So on page 1, we want to set the MIDI channel up to whatever channel we are transmitting on. In this case, as we know, it's going to be channel 1. We then scroll over to channel 2. The way I've got this set up is basically it's a one-to-one relationship. So I just want to have my program control number set. I'm not interested in a bank currently. Depends on the device that you're using, but you might have banks on that device, which can be set up. But on this case, it's a kind of one-to-one matching. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say on this patch here that I want it to control patch 1. So whenever I select this patch, it will select whatever patch 1 is on my Strymon timeline. You can leave the other bits and pieces because we're not going to be sending any controller data out yet. That is something else which maybe I will do in another tutorial. So if we exit out of there and hit right, I will write that patch to there. I will then move over to another patch number 2, and what I'm going to do here is set this up to switch to patch maybe 30 on my Strymon timeline. So again, all I do, enter here, edit here, scroll across, all the way across, come to control, enter, patch 1, go back to where we were, and I want this to control what did I say? Number 30. So if I put that on to 30, we are on patch 30 again. Come out of here, hit right, write that to memory, and there we go. So what we will see now when I select patch 1, I will be able to select patch 1 on the timeline, and when I press patch 2 on the MS3, it will switch the Strymon timeline to patch 30. So let's see that in action. So there you go. If I switch to patch 2 now, we will see the Strymon timeline switch to the relevant channel on it. There we go. And then if I switch back to 1, that will select back to the first patch. So there you go. I hope you found that useful. There will be some more, as I said, about sending controller data through. So maybe something from an expression pedal through into the Strymon timeline. I hope you found that useful. Please do hit subscribe if you like my channel. I've been Brucey, and I will catch you later.